Welcome to Imperator Rome. I'm John of Many a True Nerd, and today I'm going to be introducing you to Paradox's latest grand strategy game, set at perhaps one of the most important moments in all of history. The game begins 20 years after the death of Alexander the Great, and in the east, the fate of his fragmented empire still hangs in the balance. Meanwhile, to the west, a small Italian republic is taking its first steps towards challenging the power of Carthage. So, let's start off by looking at how the world fits together. If we move around with the arrow keys, we can see here that the map of Imperator covers all of Europe, North Africa, and all the way into Asia as well. And if we zoom in with the mouse wheel, we'll see what these empires are actually made up of. The world of Imperator Rome is made up of these small units of land, each one representing a city, and across the map there are literally thousands of them. Put simply, if you directly control a city, it becomes part of your empire, colour-coded and labelled so you know what belongs to whom. So at the start of the game, some empires are so tiny we can barely even see them from this far zoomed out. Some empires, meanwhile, are absolutely flipping massive, and you can play as literally any empire that you want. But if you want a bit of guidance, the game suggests a couple of good candidates to play as. Some very simple indeed, some with a medium level of challenge, and some very difficult. Just to introduce some basics though, I'm going to start off playing as Syracuse, here in the east of Sicily. So Syracuse starts in a bit of a difficult position. Carthage is already on Sicily, and it's only a matter of time until Rome starts expanding. So for Syracuse, simply fighting everyone in the world at once is most definitely not an option. So let's get the lay of the land here. If we right click on Syracuse, it'll bring us to the diplomatic screen, to let us know if we begin with any friends. And good news, we do indeed have a couple. We've got a couple of subjects right there on the southern tip of Italy. Now that's very, very useful indeed, because with them on my side, the Italian powers in the south of Italy can't easily get over to me. So our immediate problem is probably Carthage, and obviously we can't go taking them on directly, so we might want to start making some friends very, very fast indeed, because there's another empire right next to me. We right click on them right now, they don't have any friends at all, and they're a similar size to me, so they're probably willing to consider, yes indeed, an alliance, the green symbol meaning they're willing to accept that. Spot on. So now we've got ourselves a brand new alliance, and a very useful one indeed, because these guys start off with 12,000 troops. Adding on to my 7,000, that might even be enough manpower to kick Carthage straight out of Sicily. Elsewhere in Italy we see different types of diplomatic pact popping up as well. So Croton here has formed a defensive pact with other small Italian city-states to protect themselves against their larger neighbours. And this is a very good time to introduce one of the most useful tools in Imperator Rome for figuring out what's going on in the world. And that is the various map modes available in the bottom right. So in the case of diplomacy, I can simply turn on the diplomacy map mode and see everything I need to know about my relationships with nearby powers. I'm in green, my new ally is in blue, the other colour of blue represents subjects who are loyal to me, and purple is countries I'm trading with. So if I go to war, there might potentially be a small economic hit. So if I want to know about any other country's relationships, I can simply click on them and immediately see what they are at a glance. So Rome here has various subjects that work for them, and they're also trading with me. Etruria up north has an ally to their north as well, but other than that, they don't have many relationships right now. Now making friends is lovely and all, but if we want to expand our territory, sooner or later, we're going to need to go to war. And for that, we're going to need armies, represented by these figures standing on the map. So just like countries themselves, armies are colour-coded, so it's very easy to read what's going on. Just for the sake of an example, I've declared war against this tiny city-state next door to me. Any army whose banner is highlighted in green, that belongs to me. Blue banners indicate my allies, red my enemies, and grey those who have nothing to do with me or my wars. The exact same colour coding system is the same for navies. Right now I have 4 ships belonging to me because the number is in green, right there in my harbour. If I want my army to move, simply left click on it to select, and then right click where I want it to go. They won't start moving immediately however, because in Imperator Rome, everything happens in real time, but you can pause whenever you wish, and at the beginning of the game, it'll be paused by default. So if I want my armies to be able to move, I simply need to get time moving along. And if I want to speed things up a little bit, I can also use the plus key here to make time accelerate. To fight an enemy, simply move into the same territory as them and a battle will begin. Meanwhile, to counter territory, simply take your troops and march into the territory that you want to take over. At its absolute most basic, use your armies to take over cities, use cities to support more and more armies. Though I'm going to be honest, there is slightly more to it than that. And to discuss that, we will be continuing in the next tutorial, where we will be discussing how to wage war in Imperator Rome. Hopefully, I'll see you there.